Hi, I'm John Barnes, and this is my ultimate team. So in goal, I'm always trying to pick a team rather than the best players, because you just pick Messi, Maradona, Pele, Ronaldo, Ian Rush, and you'll have all strikers because they're the best players. But I like to pick a team that could actually play in a game. So you may not agree with me because you may say, why is he there? But the balance of the team is very important. And I like to make it fairly modern. I don't mean in terms of the players, but I mean in terms of being able to play today, because you have players who would be able to play 30 years ago, 40 years ago, but they couldn't play today because they'd be getting red cards all the time. And players who are great players now, but couldn't be playing back then because they break their fingernail, they'd be out injured for 6 weeks. So I'm trying to make a team who could play back then and could play now. So for that reason, I'm going to put Bruce Grobbelaar in goal, because Bruce was a goalkeeper who was a fantastic goalkeeper, but he could also play with his feet. And back then, goalkeepers didn't play with their feet, but Bruce could. And in fact, he got criticized for dribbling out too much. So Bruce Grobbelaar is going to be the goalkeeper. At right back, because of his iconic goal he scored, and he was the captain of the Brazil team in 1970, I'm going to put Carlos Alberto. At centre back, I'm going to put my favorite, one of my favorite players ever, because growing up in Jamaica, my favorite team was West Germany, funnily enough, because my dad went to the 72 Munich Olympics. And in 1974, he brought me back my first pair of football boots, Adidas Gerd Müller. So the Bayern Munich team and the West Germany team of 74 was my favorite team. So the centre-back with Franz Beckenbauer would be the captain, and the right-sided centre-back. Alongside him, I would put, there's so many great defenders, you know, Baresi, got great Bobby Moore, but the player I played with, who is one of my favorite players of all time, is Alan Hansen. So Beckenbauer and Alan Hansen. And at left back, I would put Roberto Carlos would be the left back, because he could play now as well. In right side midfield, I like to give a nod to some of the old players. And I would put Stanley Matthews, because when people talk about great players and, you know, whether Stanley Matthews could play now, what they do is they look at Stanley Matthews seemingly walking in the 50s and looking as if he couldn't run, and think that if he played now, he'd be the same player, but he wouldn't. Just like if you look at Messi and Ronaldo playing in the 50s, they wouldn't be doing what they do then. But Stanley Matthews, I'd say, will play on the right. In the center of midfield, I will have, and not many people know, but for you youngsters, you should go back to the old days. Not that we have many images of him, but one of the best players in the world in the 1958 World Cup for Brazil when they won was their maestro who played for Real Madrid called Didi. D-I-D-I. He was a fantastic player. One of the best players in the world ever. Went to Real Madrid, one of the first Brazilians to go there. So I'll have Didi in there. Alongside him, I will have Michel Platini from France, who was a fantastic player who played in Juventus, played for Saint-Etienne. Who did he play for? Started at Nancy and went to play for another French team. But Platini was fantastic, so we'll have Michel Platini. And I would then put Lionel Messi on the left. He's not going to play as a left winger, but I've got to get Messi in the team. And up front, and because Ronaldo's a great player, but if you're a Messi fan, you're a Messi fan, so you can't be disloyal. So Ronaldo will have to be on the bench. And then I would have Pele and Maradona up front, if that's how you want to play. Or you could have Maradona behind Pele, Pele behind Maradona. And I think that's a team that could compete against any team in the world. So that's my all-time ultimate 11.